Welcome, movie watchers. Thank you guys for stopping by my channel. Today we're going to talk about the new Netflix film, The Power of the Dog. A rancher responds with mocking cruelty when his brother brings home a new wife and her son, until the unexpected comes to pass. The Power of the Dog stars Benedict Cumberbatch, and I've heard so much praise about this film leading into its release, talking about Cumberbatch's performance, Oscar predictions for this film. I was really excited. This film reminded me how good of an actor Benedict Cumberbatch is. He is terrific in this film. He is a really cruel character at its core, but he gives one of his best performances I have ever seen, and one of the best performances of this year. The Power of the Dog is really, when you look at it, a quite simple story about Jesse Plemons' character who meets Kristen Dunst's character. They fall in love. She has a son played by Cody Smith McPhee. He goes off to college. He comes back. In the midst of all of this, Benedict Cumberbatch plays Phil, who plays Jesse Plemons' character's brother. He's mocking Peter, played by Cody Smith McPhee. He's constantly rude to people that he comes across. He's stuck in his ways. What the film does is explore the relationship between George and Rose, Jesse Plemons and Kirsten Dunst, and that toxic relationship between brothers. Since this film feels so simple, there's a lot of time to dig into these characters. This is a very heavy character-driven film. Each character is able to have a chance to have some sort of development, and you're really able to understand kind of where they come from. As we peel back Phil's character and understand his upbringings and certain things that he's been through in the past, the character almost changes a little bit. About halfway through the film, when Peter and Phil start to form this bond, we are really able to understand Phil as a character and why he is so angry all the time. There is moments where we get this clarity, moments where you feel like he's shifting into a completely different character. And Benedict Cumberbatch is sinister in this film. He's cruel, but when he's opening up, it's almost a completely different character, and Benedict Cumberbatch is able to handle those moments so well. The best part of the film is when it's tender and it is exploring the relationship between Phil and Peter. This film takes a look at toxic masculinity. Phil is, like I said, stuck in his ways. Everything needs to be done his way. Everything needs to be done in a manly manner. And in his eyes, Peter is not like that. Peter is a more sensitive person. He likes to make flowers out of paper. He wants to go to school to study medicine. And when he comes back from college, Phil tries to turn him into kind of like himself. He makes sure that he learns how to ride horses. They're making ropes together. But in the midst of all of that, they really open up and let their emotions take over, and they start to understand each other. It's a big shift in the movie, and a very important shift as well. Kirsten Dunst is also terrific in the film. She starts to develop an alcohol problem throughout the film, and she's very protective of her son, and she really does not like Phil at all. And we see a lot of heartbreaking moments from this character as she's dealing with her own trauma while also trying to protect her son. And I haven't seen Kirsten Dunst be this terrific in a long time. I feel like I haven't seen her in a film in a while. Also, Jesse Plemons is really good. More of a subtle and the kind of background character. He falls in love immediately with Rose, but he tries to kind of be the glue to everything, make sure everybody's happy in their relationships. There's also a lot of beautiful images of nature, the mountains, and a conversation of the power of the dog. I loved looking at this film. This is a beautifully directed film with a lot of great scenery, filled in with those emotions and those character development. How bare this world feels, since it does take place in a Western setting, the setting and what they're able to do with it is very limited, but they take advantage of that natural setting to give it a really, really beautiful look. The Power of the Dog was terrific. For a good 40-ish minutes of the movie, I wasn't sure where the story was going to go because it is very subtle. It is very simple. It's just focusing on Rose and George's relationship. And then we have Phil and Peter. Really, those are only the four main characters in the film. But it's starting to kind of peel away at these characters, looking at their trauma, looking at their past, and that is able to develop these characters in such a natural way to where you are invested in the storylines between these characters and curious to what is going to happen at the end of the film. The film is not focused on having all of these different side stories, these big over-the-top plots. It's very simple and very heavy character-driven story, which makes it worth watching and allowing for those performances to really, really shine. Benedict Cumberbatch, Cody Smith McPhee, Jesse Plemons, Kirsten Dunst, they are absolutely amazing in this film. I wasn't expecting too much from The Power of the Dog, but by the end of it, I really was invested in the characters and their growth within the film. So before I give you my score for The Power of the Dog, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm going to go ahead and give The Power of the Dog an A-. Thank you guys for checking my review for The Power of the Dog. Have you guys seen it on Netflix? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below and stay tuned for more up and coming content. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.